Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Thursday, June 9th, 2022. Where to start? How about economic news? And then we're going to move on to the European Central Bank. Some very interesting things going on over there. So, like I said, let's start off with economic news. So, first-time unemployment claims here in the United States unexpectedly. It was completely unexpected. No one saw this one coming, but this number came in higher than expected, a lot higher than expected, and no one can understand it. Honestly, turn on one of the mainstream propaganda ministry channels. They don't get it. Why? But everything is so fantastic. How can this possibly happen? Make it up. Look, make this stuff up. More significant than that, in my view, is this call by the European Central Bank that inflation is going to surge much higher. That's the truth. Go check it out. It's kind of all over the place. Like, we didn't see that coming too. A couple of other things. So the European Central Bank is saying that they are going to be ending quantitative easing and starting to raise rates starting in July here. Okay, lovely, fantastic. They've only been negative now for I don't know how many freaking years. And this is obviously a main driver behind the European Central Bank explaining that inflation is about to go much higher. Oh, really? I'm so surprised about that. I would have never guessed that. How about you? Oh, of course not. Anyway, people, look, you can't possibly make this stuff up. I can't stress that enough, but again, that's where we are at. So, okay, unexpected economic news, completely bad. No one saw that coming. And the European Central Bank, with their projection for inflation moving forward, very substantial. So I get once in a while we get a little truth out of these institutions here that have gone out of their way. It's not just the Federal Reserve who's gone out of their way to create inflation. It's the European Central Bank. Central banks around the world are doing the same things, but none more so than the Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank, who are working in concert to obviously create inflation. And that's exactly what they are doing here. It's not going to stop. I don't care what they say. And with regard to the European Central Bank ending QE and raising rates. Let's see what they actually do moving forward here. They can say whatever they want, but these institutions, people, are public enemies. They are public enemies. Collectively, public enemy number freaking one. And you all know that. So let's go over to the market here. Stock futures are flat to slightly lower this morning here. The 10-year yield, people, 3.06. 3.06. No surprise to you. I'm telling you where we're going here. The 10-year yield is going to settle somewhere around 3.25 in this environment. And as long as it goes that way in a controlled fashion, in other words, not repeated in succession, 10 basis point hikes, 10, 15, bang, 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 whatever, we're okay. Okay, the meltdown in the debt market, just like every other meltdown, is going to happen very rapidly, and that won't occur. The debt market meltdown will not occur until we see, okay, we can see this ourselves, a rapid spiking in that 10-year yield. Going back to the markets, like I said, stock futures slightly lower, slightly lower right now. Crude oil, WTI about $121 a barrel. It was 122 yesterday, so a little bit lower this morning. Gold and silver relatively flat. The dollar here also under a little bit of pressure, the relative strength of the dollar. And that's essentially where we stand. Gold, did I mention gold and silver? I think I did. A little lower here. Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, about 30,000. Okay, whatever. I mean, you want to talk about being stuck in a range. Bitcoin, the major cryptos have been stuck in a very tight range for quite a while now. All right, whatever. No surprise here. I really think, honestly, look, for those of us that understand why we're holding cryptocurrencies, it's a no-brainer. To me at least, it's all about the debt market, which is going to melt down. It's just a matter of time. It is a ticking time bomb. I've said this repeatedly over and over again. It's going to go off. It's just a matter of when it's going to go off. And with regard to global debt, regardless of what the Fed does or says, regardless of what the European Central Bank does or say they're going to do, global debt is going to continue to balloon faster. And along with that, people, again, we get an admission today. SHocKer. SHocKer. Oh my, I can't take it. European Central Bank admitting that inflation is going to go much higher. You see, it's interesting. So out of the European Central Bank, we get this truth. Out of the Federal Reserve, all we do is get lies and more lies, and our politicians and everyone else, no one tells the truth anymore. It's out of control. Anyway, so look, with all of this said here, people, just remain calm, okay? Realize what you're doing and why you're doing it. Period. The end. You know this. I tell you this every freaking single day. Honestly, so a few things that we need to watch for, obviously. I really believe what I'm about to tell you, and I've been saying this for a while now, several months, and I can't imagine this playing out another way unless something dramatic happens. What am I talking about? We remain right now in what I still believe is the very early stages of a massive energy crisis. Again, they must bring about another crisis, and it's got to be big, because these central banks need yet another reason to inflate. And every single crisis that comes along, you know how this works. Billions, tens of billions and hundreds of billions and even more than that, dollars and euros and whatever, has to be pulled from the future to fund these crises that come along. It's just a no-brainer. It's the new economic model of central banks. Yeah, sure. You notice what they're doing? They're all saying, okay, we're going to stop asset purchases. We're going to slow down asset purchases. And that's going to be just fantastic. But what they're doing here, again, we have this new war that's going to go on and on and on, and billions, tens of billions, in the trillions is going to be thrown at it. Monkeypox, other kind of poxes, whatever they want to throw at you, COVID, other reasons to give our puppet leaders a blank check. I cover this all the time. So, it's all working out the way they want it to work out. And if you think anything here, again, is by accident, you don't understand a damn thing. Everything that we're seeing is by design. Everything we're seeing has been thought out before, well, years, maybe even decades ago. And now we're living in the side effect of it. Okay, central banks are on a mission not just to inflate, but to become, the one world government, which they already have, that we've all been warned about that would happen at one particular time. And that is the truth. They control, central banks, the monetary system of the world. That means, that they control the world, and everything else is just bullshit. Okay? I want you to understand that your votes don't count. If your votes counted, you wouldn't be allowed to vote. You understand? This whole thing is theater. Everything connected to it is theater. Propaganda ministries, the freaking mainstream channels, theater, all of it. Look here, don't look here. Propaganda, distractions, you know all this better than anybody else. All right, look, so in summary here real quick, we got this first-time unemployment claims weekly that came in unexpectedly much higher than they thought. No one can believe it. They just don't understand it. They can't get it. Of course, well, if you were sitting there reading a script as well, maybe you wouldn't get it either. Duh. Can I get it? Duh, please. Yes. And with regard to the European Central Bank, let's see what they actually do. Ending QE, raising rates. Okay, they're going to raise rates. There's no doubt about it. The pace of it, we'll see how that plays out. But again, kind of an interesting admission that inflation is going to get much worse. Something you and I clearly have known. And what are people going to do? Is anyone going to be held to account? Nope, absolutely not. You will not hear a peep about this. People are going to sit there and allow themselves to be destroyed. It's such a freak show. All right, people, look, this guy here loves you a lot. Please ponder the things yet again that I have covered here. I want to hear from you. Comment here. Please share the video. Get it out there. And of course, as usual, I will see you at the end of the day. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. And I'll see you then.